how do we now repay the damage that's been done to Bianca Costa?
Yeah.
Do you think he would have had his following and everything if he didn't have me as his preferred? With the whole Chris XL thing, it's even worse. Like, oh no, she's only on that TV show because she's Chris XL. Oh no, she got this because she's, So it's very demotivating on my end. I was in therapy. You make me cry.
You said you're not gonna cry. I asked you to not cry.
I was in therapy. It's okay. We can continue.
For as long as I've known Chris XL, I've only known that picture. And I don't need to, like, if I see maybe pictures like randomly, I would know, oh, that's Chris XL. Now it would be really weird, like, to not see that picture as Chris XL.
So he's saying that Chris XL is a brand.
Yeah.
And it's not associated with anybody.
Yeah.
But he's using a picture of somebody else.
Yeah.
And in the law, there's something called copyright.
Yes.
If you take a picture of yourself, you are the owner of that
yes.
picture. So somebody cannot use that picture without your permission.
Yes.
And cannot profit off that picture without your permission.
Yes, without your permission.
But clearly he's been profiting off somebody else's picture.
Yes.
He's been requesting to get it taken down for a long time. Chris XL has been making money off of somebody else's picture. She actually has the right to sue him for that. I don't know why she hasn't done that.
Yeah, Chris XL is big. Like, yes, even though he's big for bad things, but he's got quite a big following and quite a big fan base, let me just say.
Mm-hmm.
So there is quite a bit to benefit from being
the face.
Yes.
The only reason why she would be mad is that she cannot build her own brand.
Yeah.
That's the only problem with this.
Yeah, because she's the fake. Now
she has to leverage off of this Chris XL brand.
Yes.
But she has no control over that. And on top of that, this guy is like, he's known to be a bully. So
yes.
So her image has negative connotations.
Yes.
Her image is like the image of
we can't look at her face without thinking of the things that Chris says. We can't differentiate.
Like she's literally the image of bullying.
Yeah.
The image of trolling on Twitter.
Yes.
Like Chris XL is the Twitter troll.
Yes.
And he's the biggest bully in South Africa.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that. Celebrities know that. They know that as well. So she's literally the face of that.
Yeah.
So she has no control over that brand and she cannot create her own brand.
Yeah.
So I understand why she's mad. But at the same time, if she is benefiting.
And like, how people, just how people get mad at people who are on a soapy, so they roll in a soapy. Mm-hmm. People can still be mad at you knowing that you're not the one tweeting there, but they'll still be yes. You know what I mean?
Like when you're an actor.
Yes.
You're playing a character.
Yes, they'll be mad at you.
Be mad at you because of the character.
Because of the character you play.
Yeah.
So I'm sure she probably would get a lot of that on her social media.
She probably gets a lot of hate online. She probably does. Because of the stuff Chris XL does. And maybe that's why she be going to therapy and all that kind of stuff, because she probably gets a lot of hate. Probably every day. She probably gets death threats.
I think if the Chris XL account was not what it was not like bullying central, she'd probably be, I don't know, more happier to embrace it.
I don't think so.
But then again, you want your identity.
Yes.
Like
your identity is stolen.
Like, I don't care if I'm a nobody. My identity is my identity. I don't care of being famous as you, right? I want to be me with my 2 followers, for instance. It's fine.
Yeah, so it's just that she lost her identity.
Yeah.
The only recourse is to sue him.
Yeah.
Sue him.
The legal route.
Yeah, for copywriting.
I mean, it's easy to find out who a person is nowadays.
They know who he is.
Yeah.
Like, there's even a picture of him floating around now on Twitter. Like, they know who Chris XL is.
And nobody, it doesn't matter. But nobody cares about Chris XL.
Yeah.
Everybody cares about the keyboard warrior and the face, the girl.
Because that's the brand.
That's the brand. So, but I understand also his conflict. Like, he comes from, he started this at a time where all of that didn't matter, to be honest. Like, people could get away with catfishing, right? Like, if we think about it, back in the day when Upper Chris XL was starting, like Noah Berry and all of that, the Chris XL guy started back then. Like, he been on Twitter for a very long time, and he was this Chris XL, but not they, trying to be mean, but eventually created, or what can I say, built that reputation, the reputation that he now has. Now it's a different time. You understand what I'm saying? Like, now it's a different time. People are brought to book about things like this. You can't just steal a person's identity or whatever. Like, Dale would be like, oh, we know it's not him, like, get over it. But then now we are actually seeing the consequences of people, like, actually catfishing and things like that.
Yeah, there's a few catfishes now.
There are quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a thing now. But then, especially here in South Africa, I don't know why that's such a thing, but it's a thing. Like, people are catfishing.
Because in South Africa, people want to say a lot, but they don't want to say it as them.
Oh, so they don't want to be accountable for what they say. Yeah, I think that's what he initially did. It was like
he didn't want to be accountable for what he's saying, and that's why he became the troll. It's very difficult to become a troll as yourself, to be honest. Like, it's very, very difficult. And like, people who become trolls on the internet are people that are catfish, or that never put their pictures on, or have like cartoon stuff, and or like weird things, like, and never people owning it as themselves. It's just only now people are starting to get a little bit confident, like Abo Musakawula, who are like a few for many that are starting to like be bold about what they're saying, and just like, it is what it is. And then a lot of people will slowly become a little bit more confident to say whatever. But those few people like Abba Chris, they were starting that, like, like just being careless, saying whatever, but they were saying it without their faces. So nobody actually knew who they were. But we started normalizing it because South Africans are sensationalists. We love sensation. We love to see people being made fun of. We love to see, and it's really sad if we think about it, because now it's gotten to the point where we're going to laugh with people like that. We're going to laugh at what they're saying, and they don't feel like they're wrong anymore. And it pushes them to keep doing it. We wouldn't still have trolls if we didn't entertain trolls, if they knew that they didn't have a space in society. So people started following these accounts. Why do these accounts have large followings? Let's ask ourselves that. Why do they probably have almost the most following, these ones that are, horrible to people, than ones of people who are nice to everybody and just sweet and everything. Because people love to see that. People love to see other people being put down and things like that.
It's sad.
It's very sad. It's very sad. And it's predominant here in South Africa. Like, that is South African internet.
There's a whole subsection of Twitter, which they call CBD Twitter. And in CBD Twitter, Chris XL is the president. He was elected. Black Twitter. You can even call it Black Twitter. But there's a difference in the Black Twitter, the CBD Twitter, there's Santin Twitter, whatever. So CBD Twitter is like generally the people that really don't have anything to do. They spend most of their day on Twitter just laughing at people, laughing at jokes, making fun of people.
Like,
so he's like
open spaces of trashing people and talking.
He's like the president of that subsection of Twitter.
It's so funny how we've normalized that. Like, spaces are open, and you'd see like people go on there. Like, a lot of people, a lot of well-known people, a lot of celebrities go on these things. Yes, influencers and whatever. They go on these spaces gossiping. Somebody will be the topic today. They discuss the person. Like, really, man. I don't know. It is what it is.
It's really bad. It's a bad culture.
It's a bad culture that we just seem like we're never gonna.
But it shows that there's a lot of people that just have a lot of time on their hands. Again, it's goes back to the high unemployment rate, just people fucking around.
But if we're being honest, like our problem is in South Africa is all of those things, like the unemployment, things like that. Like people are miserable about their lives.
Yeah, people are very
miserable about their lives, and that's very understanding because we are staying in a almost very fucked up country right now, and there's nothing exciting about people's lives, and it's very hurtful to a lot of people to watch other people living their lives. How are you managing to live your life under these economic circumstances we find ourselves under? You know what I mean? People are going on holidays or whatever, so it hurts for people who are unemployed, who are living in misery, who don't even know what their next meal is gonna be and where it's coming from. People who are depending maybe on the 350s and the whatever, or grants and whatever. Like it's like that life is just miserable, and especially when you don't know how you're gonna get out of this. I can only imagine, you know what I mean? So it's like, well, what you gonna do? You're gonna hate on people that have it a lot smoother, than you're gonna, and that is why there is a market for trashing people, for trashing the wealthy, a big market, especially in our country, of trashing rich people, trashing celebrities, trashing, people who are doing well for themselves, because people just don't understand why that can't be them.
The biggest problem here is that a brand, she basically doesn't have a brand. She doesn't have an identity.
Yeah.
There's nothing she can do now. Like, she let it get to a point where
out of hand.
It's so big that
there's nothing you can do.
She is Chris Excel now.
I think she probably thought, let me just ignore it's it's probably gonna die down, or it's not. And I don't think she anticipated to become as big as it is.
I can't imagine like a normal day to day, like maybe when Chris Excel be wilding and saying all these things. When she goes
wilding with your face, bruh.
When she goes out to the mall.
Yeah.
The kind of comments she gets.
And people would be like, well, you might not be him, but you're probably associated with him. People can take it as far as that, like, well, you might know him, or there's some affiliation or whatever. And people can still be just as mad at you.
Yeah, well, right now there are quite a few influencers like advocating for Chris Excel to take down that picture, and obviously he's fighting back and saying that he ain't gonna do any of that.
It's my brand.
But Bianca can actually sue him for copyright infringement, because he's profiting off of her image and shit.
Her property. Yeah.
So I think that's what she's supposed to do. Like, just sue him for as much as you want, like, and even sue him for a mail if you want, because he's been doing this for years and he doesn't want to stop. Or the next step is try to get his account taken down. I'm sure his account has been mass reported a few times, but that doesn't.
But it's still there.
But yeah, try to get his account taken
down.
I
do believe he's definitely been reported many
That's
times.
The next thing. Just try to get his account taken down, either legally. I think legally is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, sue him.
But then let's be honest, just as much hate as Chris Excel has, he's got just as much fans as well.
Yeah, it's those people that just love that kind of toxic environment that he be. But Twitter, like, if Chris Excel was to leave Twitter would be a much
better place.
Twitter will be a much better place. There will be, the bullying will go all the way down. Yeah. Or what would happen is, if he was,
and there's like these little Chris Excels now that are sprouting from nowhere.
If he was to leave, there'll be a power vacuum there.
Yes.
Those are the two scenarios. But I think if he was to leave or his account be taken down,
I would love to hear though, like, what she had to go through. Like, how was life as?
It was probably bad.
I can imagine though. I can really imagine. I would love to know.
Like, imagine getting death threats every day from random people you don't even know. She could even be in fear of her life. Like, she can't even walk freely in the streets without being in fear of being attacked by somebody for being this guy that she doesn't even know. That kind of shit is like, it's not a joke. And
it's not.
I understand maybe why that could lead her to like go to therapy.
You'd probably sometimes want to even be suicidal.
Yeah.
I hope it didn't get to that point.
She might probably talk about that. She might
I'm curious. I'm really curious. Anyway, what do you guys think? Do you think that she probably did milk it for what it was and enjoyed, at least to some degree, being Chris XL? Or do you think it was a complete nightmare throughout?
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe.
And keep watching. Bye.
We'll check you guys in the next one.